Today I will be reading The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. The theme of this poem is love and grief for a lost loved one. Once upon a midnight eerie, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. I distinctly remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the great and radiant maiden whose the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently he came rapping, and so faintly he came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you, ere I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness, peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was a whispered word. This I whispered, and echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore, and let my heart be still in movement, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, one with many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped a stately maiden of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obedience made he, not a minute stopped nor stayed he, but with mien of lord and lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sight fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, though thy crest by shore and shaven now, art shirt nor craven. Ghastly grin, an ancient vagrant, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me why thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word did he outpour. Nothing further that he uttered, not a feather that he fluttered, so I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled as the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is only self in store, caught from some unhappy master who unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling. Straight I will the cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at each reclining, on the cushioned velvet lining, with the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath let thee, by these angels he hath sent me. Respite, respite, pity, from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind of head, and forgot this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed, be here ashore. Desolate yet all undaunted, in this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore. Is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if, within the distance unseen, it shall clasp his saintly maiden, whose the angel's name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whose the angel's name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign pardon, bird or fiend that shrieked and shouted, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, with the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart, take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the palace bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted